I am in Defiance, Ohio at the site of Old Fort Defiance. This was one of General Mad Anthony Wayne's forts during the Treaty of Grenville era and the Battle of Tall and Timbers era, which that was a fun time around here. So anyways, first we're going to be checking this out. Fort Defiance was constructed under the supervision of General Mad Anthony Wayne in August of 1794 at the end of a long and difficult march north through the swamplands from Fort Grenville. Defiance became a part of the line of fortifications constructed by the American forces during the Indian War around here in the Northwest. From here, General Wayne and his men marched to the Native American position at what would become the site of the Battle of Fallen Timbers. This fort was completed just days before the battle on August 20th, which took place about 50 miles northeast of here. As a result of the defeat of the Native Americans there, Wayne ordered that all of their villages and plentiful crop fields within a 50-mile radius of Fort Defiance be completely destroyed. Once the Treaty of Grenville was signed a year later, the native groups had to cede 6 square miles around this fort and allow for the Americans to maintain a trading post there, even though it was within the area of the Grenville Treaty line, where Americans weren't supposed to settle, but they did. Fort Defiance was abandoned soon after. This was the location of the East Blockhouse, where troops were quartered. All land north to Canada was surveyed on baseline running from this point where the flagstaff is today. According to legend, the name Defiance came from a statement by Kentucky militiaman Charles Scott, when he said, "I defy the English, Indians, and all the devils of hell to take it." Apparently, General Wayne approved of the Kentuckian sentiments and named the fort after their collective defiance of other groups. The fort was constructed at a strategic location, the confluence of the Maumee and Auglaize rivers. A couple of years before Fort Defiance in 1792, the supposed largest Native American council ever held on the American continent took place at this confluence. Fort Winchester was constructed near the site of Fort Defiance in 1812 under direction of General and later President William Henry Harrison. It was an observation post and supply depot for the American Army during the War of 1812, and the fort was a rendezvous point for Americans during the siege of Fort Meigs. Scores of buffalo were last recorded here in 1718 across the river. This is the gravesite of Spemika Laba, a Shawnee man also known as Captain Johnny Logan or James Logan. There are actually two entirely different theories about his life, so I'll tell the one on the historical marker. In both accounts he is believed to have been the son of a Shawnee chief, but in the Johnny Logan version he was captured and raised as an American by Kentuckian Captain Benjamin Logan, and later worked for an Ohio Indian agency during the War of 1812. When he was sent to evacuate women and children from the siege of Fort Wayne, he was captured by Chief Winnemac. He and some companions made their escape, but Logan was wounded during the escape and died of his wounds here at Fort Winchester. His American name may have also been James Logan, and if that was his identity, Logansport, Indiana was named after him by William Henry Harrison. It is still unknown whether he was half Native American and half European, or if he was a full-blood Shawnee. Due to his valuable agency and spy work, he was the only Native American in Ohio history to be buried with full U.S. military honors. This is the Defiance Public Library. I'm not sure if this is a Carnegie Library or not. Looks very different from all the other ones I've seen, but it very well could be. Right here is the Defiance County Courthouse. Looks very nice. Has some mansard roof features. They have a really nice war memorial out front, along with an eternal flame for the Vietnam veterans that's currently struggling in the 0-degree high wind weather. I can't even talk, it's so cold. A few other monuments out front. Nice. Here's like an old computer shop. You can see naked Stewie in the window, along with Brian. And look at this majestic thing. This is a tower of VW Bugs. This one's definitely looking like a hippie car. They all kind of do, but that is pretty cool and definitely not something you see every day. You can see an old Texaco sign back there and a 76 gas sign. And here's a vintage Pepsi sign. I'm now in Fremont, Ohio. I'm gonna have a bite to eat at Billy's restaurant. That's a cool looking post office. This is the 1892 Sandusky County Jail building. This used to be a museum, but then it closed and they only give a few tours a year. Along with the old jail, they have an 1840s dungeon in the basement. That's supposed to be pretty cool. But unfortunately, we're not getting in there this trip. Let's see some of the old cells, the bars on the window.